the team are still trying to come to terms with the devastating news that chimp Susie is terminally ill. She was brought to the park's hospital for an investigation because she was struggling to breathe. The veterinary team discovered she has a serious heart condition.
As soon as we put the ultrasound on the chest and the heart, it was immediately obvious that there was something grossly abnormal in there.
They found a growth which is inoperable. It's stopping blood flowing freely into her heart.
I mean, the prognosis has to be poor, and if you're sticking your neck out, you would say in the region of weeks to months, but you never know, and you guys will be proved wrong with these things.
Susie is one of the more dominant female chimps in Paddy's group, and is not particularly old. She was brought to Monkey World in 1994, after being rescued from Spain, where she was being used as a beach photographer's prop.
Doesn't it make you sick, eh? What people can do.
She's had 2 children, a girl called Eddie, and his
Been used as a photography prop
Yeah.
They're both growing up now,
to make money.
totally dependent on her, but they are still close to their mum. And Mark still snuggles up to her at night.
I can tell this is old
Susie was a natural from the beginning
How?
and has brought
because their head vet is no longer alive. He passed away last year or something.
brilliantly, so
Alright.
that they too are confident individuals.
With no hope, the team couldn't
I forget his name.
euthanize Susie while she was in hospital.
I'll show you if I see
They
him.
think that will be too much of a shock for Bart and Eddie.
So this is old, a couple of years old at least.
The chimps need to see their mum isn't well and is withdrawing from them.
Susie's terminal. She's not going to get better. But if we can manage her so that she feels okay, even though we know she's got a heart that's going to be a problem for her, she might be able to continue for a couple of weeks or something, and then at least Bart and the rest of the group will at least be able to understand what's happening with Susie. So at the moment it's a balancing act.
Only a matter of time.
You know, this is going to be terribly tragic for Paddy's group. Susie's a significant member, and Bart and Eddie.
Circle of life, I'm afraid.
We'll wait and see. If the medication improves her quality of life and it's a very slow growing tumor mass, then maybe she'll have a longer period of time. I suspect that's
Who knows?
not going to be the case though, because the way her condition has progressed quite sharply in the last couple of weeks, I'm not hopeful. But most important now, we have to keep the focus on monitoring Susie's welfare. She has to respond to those diuretics and feel better, or we're going to have to help her out. It's tragic. It's terribly, terribly tragic.
With more than 240 monkeys and apes at the park, the team are constantly having to face tough decisions about the residents here. But their overriding concern is always their welfare. Over the last 12 months, they've been inundated with requests to take in marmosets, many of them victims of the British pet trade.
One tiny little fall and you shatter into a million
And
pieces.
A
she
new marmoset complex was built to house them, but it quickly filled up.
has actually managed to stop,
Building work is now
I think, at long last, illegal pet trade into the UK.
The team know that even that won't be big enough to care for the number of monkeys who need to be rescued. So, reluctantly, they have to say goodbye to some marmosets who they've rehabilitated and find new homes for
They're my favourite monkeys, they are. Marmosets.
Literally have every single marmoset room.
Of all species, they're my favourite.
There is no room to spare, and unfortunately there are still an awful lot of marmosets in the UK pet trade waiting to receive our help. So we've had to make a really hard decision to let one of our family groups move on to a new home, which is not something that we ideally would want to do, but like I say, we've got some cases that really need our specialist help, so it's a decision that we've had to make.
Bubble, Squeak, and their baby son Rio are going to Twycross.
Bubble, Squeak and Rio.
Going to Twycross.
They've been chosen because they're a very happy, close-knit group, and the team are confident they'll do well there.
She's watching because of the squeak.
She turned her head right the way round.
Thinks it's the bird.
Squeak
That's why.
got pregnant and gave birth to Rio soon after arriving at the park. They're being given some tasty grubs, which they love.
Locusts are particular favourites of the marmosets. Obviously,
Oh yeah, locusts, yeah.
big and juicy things are always going to catch their interest. They can be quite good fun as well. Obviously, when they start hopping around the enclosure, they've really got to have a good.
It keeps them
for these
active and
animals.
exercised, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah,
So it's ideal.
Give them locusts quite often as an extra treat.
Well, let them being one of their favourites, it's also ideal to keep them fit here and there and active as well, so they don't get bored.
Bubble immediately spots one of the locusts and tries to grab it. His son moves closer to learn from his dad. Squeak, meanwhile, is quicker off the mark, but is already chomping away. Rio has followed in his father's footsteps and managed to get one himself.
Rio's very inquisitive, really interested in anything that's going on, but Squeak and Bubble are a little more wary, so they keep a close eye out. They're usually the first ones to alarm call if they see anything a bit strange. But yeah, they certainly keep a very close eye on Rio.
Bubble, Squeak, and Rio have been lucky. They were rescued and will now live out their lives happily together in a safe environment. But not all marmosets are so fortunate.
Right.
Until stronger laws are brought in insisting on better standards of care in the British pet trade, primates like these will continue to suffer.
Well, I'm pretty sure
As one
she.
family leaves the
I'm pretty sure that's all stopped now, since this was filmed.
and causing chaos in the process.
It's taken at least 20 odd years to do it.
Baby orang Bulu Mata was brought over from Budapest Zoo a
20 years
week
of
ago.
suffering for him.
Sadly, his mum died a few days after he was born, and so it was decided the best place for him to grow up would be Monkey World.
Of course.
The park has the European creche for orphaned orangutans, and the team have a lot of experience looking after youngsters. It was hoped that Xiao Kuai, who's very maternal, would take Bulu under her wing, as she did Awan a few years ago. But despite showing an initial interest in him, she so far declined the offer. So for now at least, it's going to be down to the primate care staff to look after him 24/7. And he's certainly keeping them on their toes.
I think everyone would love the thought of looking after a baby orangutan, but believe me, it's a lot harder than it seems. It's just like a newborn baby really, and you have to be completely dedicated to him and be at his beck and call basically while he's this young. And it's tough. It's very tiring.
Of course
The
it is.
team don't want Bulu to get too attached to any one person.
Well,
So
it
there's
is
a
a human
small
baby.
group of 4 carers who are dedicated to him. This will make it easier when they eventually move him in with the other orangs.
He's still not able to even stand for himself, he can't even sit for himself. He's quite clumsy still, and so not very mobile yet. And yeah, that's the reason why we are actually hiring him now.
The staff want to familiarise him with his future housemates, so he spends most of his time at the nursery, although he still has plenty of naps. And just like any other baby, they can't leave him alone. So wherever his carer goes, he goes too. Whether it's up on the roof to feed his prospective playmates,
So why don't you just feeding the others as they normally do?
persuade them to come in when it's time for bed.
You can keep an eye on him at the same time while carrying him.
He's quite tired. They sleep a lot, but they wake up a lot as well, so we don't sleep that much when we're taking care of them. And it's high maintenance, baby orang. So yeah, we kind of, that's why we're still hoping that Xiao Kuai is gonna actually take care of him for us.
Demanding he may be, but he's also adorable. And at the end of a long day, they always make sure there's time left for a play session before he goes to sleep.
He's really started to develop a character now. He's very smiley. He's always been very laid back. So he takes things in his stride. He's been very good with introducing him to new keepers, with the surroundings of the nursery. He's always been around him to familiarise himself with. But anything we can do that's going to help us to put him back and reintroduce him back to orangs as soon as we can, that's the best thing we can do for him.
But unless Xiao Kuai has a change of heart, Kate and Lewis could be in this for the long haul. Next time on Monkey Life, Alison heads to the Maldives to rescue a slow Loris caught up in a drugs raid.
I'm not sure. This might be a lady.
And Capuchin Joanne outwits Jeremy when he tries to take her to the hospital.
He shut the door. Well done.
Jim Conan, was that the name of the vet that died?
To fit the winner. Only a chosen few will ever know.
No,
Following the Masters Day
Jim
one
was the,
Thursday at 2 on Sky Sports Golf.
No, he was her. It was her husband.
Oh, right.
He was the founder of the park.
Mm.
He died about